She's a saint, she's a salt of the earth, and she's dangerous. She's a rebel, vigilante. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a VeVe OMI DEFF DECAT video, update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon, smashing that super thanks button down below, super chats as well. In 4 hours, we will have a nice big Dfinity announcement, but it is unfortunately going to be in 4 hours. I got this news like 4 minutes ago that it was coming. I knew it was coming out at some point. Will I stay live for 4 hours? I don't have any drinks. I don't have any daddy soda. We'll see. We'll see. But there's some normal news, but then there's some big news coming out for Dfinity and parent companies. In the next couple hours. I'll keep you all posted on what that is. Maybe I just announced it early. I don't know. No, I have to wait for others to pick it up. Maybe I'll just do like an hour. I'll go to bed and then I'll wake up at like 12 and then we'll do another one at midnight. We'll see. NFTs added 500 million. Oh god, there is so much stuff coming out today. Democrats tried to go in and limit Trump on what he could do in Venezuela. There was a vote in the Senate, 50-50. The tie was broken by J.D. Vance. Trump can do pretty much whatever he wants in Venezuela. Speaking of Venezuela, the Maronoffel had posted that Trump's Venezuela gambit left 0 aircraft carriers in the Middle East as Iran burns. The Maduro capture came with a trade-off: 12 warships in the Caribbean and only 6 left in the Middle East. No carrier in the region since the Ford got redirected to Venezuela. Pentagon says that they can still strike using Tomahawks from destroyers and B-2s from the continental U.S., but the brass admits that it does add risk. Lincoln is a week out. Trump appeared to pull back Wednesday, saying that Iran stopped killing protesters. I don't think they did. But the carrier situation explains why diplomacy might be getting a longer look than bombing runs. You can only be in so many places at once. That is true. They are not electrons, although they are many things. I think the Ford is about 6-7 days out. Yeah, I know, 6-7. About 6-7 days out. Do they not? Although literally, I have a buddy of mine that's stationed in Qatar. They started heating troops out of there earlier this morning. So, I mean, the news picked it up. It's not secret, but yeah, I guess they'd want to do that in case stuff pops off with Iran, which apparently it is. Iran just closed its airspace. Flights are getting redirected. What is that doing to the market? How does it affect Bitcoin? Well, I haven't checked. Let's see. Bitcoin, I think, was up to like 97.5 today. It was 97. I can't see. I can't get it. 97.7. So it got close to 98. Down a little bit, 96.9 now. It was before, as a bunch of this was popping off, 96.5, but 96.8 right now. So that's what it seems to be doing there. So whatever's going on with Iran and other stuff in the world, it does not appear to be affecting the markets all that much. We shall keep everyone posted. Anyway, what do I have here? NFTs adding 500 million. Is VeVe next? Okay, there's where's this coming in from? There's a lot. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on here. I'll go and take a look at a bunch of what I have here. We have Luigi, aka I'm Luigi, but Luigi spelled Luidji, like the Russian version. Like, so example, there's no or it's actually not the Russian version. There's no letter J in, like, J as in Joker. There's no letter J in the Russian alphabet. So they say, like, instead of Jennifer, like Jennifer. So it's D as in Delta and Z as in Zulu to make the J sounds. Go Jennifer. So anyways, guys, I'm Luigi. Says just in, odds for NFTs to make a comeback in 2026, reach an all-time high of 65%. Let's go. This was posted, and granted, there's $1.1 million in bets on this, with a 65% chance that NFTs do make a comeback in 2026. I think partially because of the fact that The clarity bill, which Mr. Armstrong. Oh, hell yes, I can talk about Definity, but we will get to that after the NFT stuff. Thank God I don't have to wait until. Awesome. We'll talk about it in 20 minutes then. Huzzah! Unless you want to come on. Nah, it's really late for Manu over there. We'll have Manu. Yeah, no, he said it's fine. It's fine. Anyway, yeah, Mr. Armstrong from Coinbase had said that they cannot support the crypto legislation bill as it is right now. I don't know exactly what's in it. I don't know why he can't support it. As Crypto Rain said yesterday, there's a bunch of banks trying to go and be like, oh, no. We're going to lose our stuff over here. We're going to lose our lunch. So there's a lot of back and forth with this. This is not great. But either way, odds for NFTs to make a comeback in 2026 does reach an all-time high of 65% with 1.1 million in bets. And Polymarket tends to be the best predictor of these things. And some of the stuff, it's already happened. Luigi says, that is ridiculous, Luigi. People saying we're back, let it fly, woohoo. Okay, 1 second. Awesome. Thanks for keeping me in the loop. Love Manu. Manu's my main man. After that, we have Rohit. Rohit has 12,000 followers over on X, so not a big one, but he says that NFTs are slowly cooking. OG NFTs are pumping. Multiple NFTs sold at high prices. New NFTs are coming with airdrop or token allocation. Says 2026 really gonna be NFT meta? Is it? Daco says NFTs were just on hold. Daco has 10,000 followers over on X. Elfie, 7,000 followers, saying, damn, actually made me hopeful that elementals would be at 1 ETH again, but they're not even at 0.1. Again, it does go in cycles, so not everything is going to pump at once. Let's go to OpenSea and take a look. Let's see what CryptoPunks are doing. CryptoPunkuas are actually down 1% on the day to 28 ETH. What is ETH right now? Probably 3,200 still, right? 33, 37. What's that? It was 28. So they're about $93,000. Is what the OpenSea, or I'm sorry, is what the CryptoPunks are. Now that's a lot. We don't need to. But let's check Bored Ape Yacht Club. Let's see what they're at. They're only at 5.93 ETH. That is bananas. So they're at just under 20K. They are at just under 20K. All right, let's take a look at what a Milady Makers, 1.2. So they're at about $4,000. They're up about 2% on the day. What else we got here aside from Milady Makers? Let's do Pudgy Penguins, and then we'll do Moonbirds. Pudgy Penguins are 5.2 ETH. And let's take a look about what Moonbirds are, because I do like those. And Moonbirds are up 4%, 2.085 ETH, almost 2.1. So this is what I like. Is what I like to see as ETH goes. It's weird. You have a certain amount of ETH, a certain amount of how much ETH it's worth. So let's say ETH is X amount of weeks ago, 2,500, right? And then something was 1 ETH. Well, if ETH goes to 3K, you would think like, okay, now this should be worth 0.8 ETH. It's not. It doesn't even stay the same where the value goes up that way, but it becomes worth more ETH as well. So the prices rise at a commensurate rate to each other. That is a vicious, amazing cycle for anyone that has any of these right here. I'm not even taking a look at Gary V's VeVe. There's so much, like Claynosaurs, Chimpers, like there's so many of these that are out there that people have really good feelings about. And again, the telegrams of a lot of these guys were disgusting a couple weeks ago, and now it's like, oh, hey, we're moving up. People get happy. All they care about is price. All anyone cares about is price. Once that goes up, people are happy. Metaverse Life says, I'm like a dog drooling while he waits for his treat. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Because I said that something about VeVe Official having the best IP in the world. Can't wait for the Cat comic to come out later this year. And you have Metaverse Life saying that he really wants to see it. You will be one of the first to know and get a advanced copy so you can give a review. Give a review to everyone. Give a review. Yeah. Okay, what else we got here? Okay, what can VeVe do next? Well, that does get a little hard. Why? Because VeVe, all the stuff that they post, I assume a lot of that stuff has to get approved, like get approved by Disney or Marvel or DC, whatever license that they have. But what is one license that maybe they wouldn't have to go and get approval for something that they post? I can't quite put my finger on it. But yeah, I think if they want to go in, just let the first NFT license that is interoperable, let it be the VeVe Gold and Silver logo. See what it does in OpenSea. Let them put it in a MetaMask, and then others will come. I don't know when this happens. It was supposed to be at some point. I was going to say late January that they were doing stuff. Thank you, Miss Gecko, for going over and requoting everything of mine. She's the best. I love her. You're the best around. Nothing gonna ever keep it down. Sorry. That is bananas. Anyway, I think once they do that, because they don't have to post about it. Oh, ETH. Now buy everything in ETH, not just in OMI. But again, it should be able to trigger an OMI burn as well. So I think that's one of the things that they could do. Go with their own IP, and it doesn't have to be the VeVe logo. I'm saying that just because I have one, but they could do it with any of their Christmas trees, the David and Dan stuff, the On Guard, like anything that they want that they own. Which is why originally I wanted to. David, you hecked up. I offered David 10% of the cat at 100K. He was keen on doing it, but stuff kept happening, and then I raised money at 150K, and the next raise is about to be at 300K. So, and the next person that I raise with will be able to do stuff with. They'll be able to do different things with our characters. Anyway, this would have been perfect for that. Let's go and take a look at. All right, let's do Definity because we have a pretty big announcement here. Now, how many of you guys know who the Midnight Foundation is? I'll let you comment down below while I get to some of these comments. Booth saying, "What's up, Randy? What's going on, Booth?" I think I need some dental work. Originally, I got that in a fight where mouthpiece fell out, and so fuck it. Few seconds around anyway. Kept going, and then got kind of went sideways, and then I chipped it, and then it gets bonded every now and then. Anyway, long story short, I'm probably going to need a drink because this is not feeling good. So that's what's up with me. Got some tooth pain over there. Hope your day's going good. Mostly not with this, but aside from this, yes. How to start my fast once sundown hits. I hope I don't break. Good for you, mate. Good for you. About to fast. Okay. How long are you fasting for? Are you fasting for 24 hours? Fasting 48 hours, 72. If you do more than like 72 hours, when you do go to eat again, you can't just eat like cheeseburgers, bro. You got to get some bone broth. You got to ease your tummy into it, because if you don't, you'll be on the toilet. I know. I did it. It's bad. Very, very bad. But yeah, as long as you have some bone broth, maybe some Gatorade, you ease into it. You'll be fine. Connor, what's going on, Connor? Give me the piece. Robert McCain Erleme said, "What goody, Randy? What's up? Digital Collectibles, Deco Monkey, how you doing? Roberto. Ay, como me duele. Yes, I'm doing very well. NFT's about to explode in 2026. NFT markets are hot. They are. They are. Like, ooh, try to grab the fire. It was too hot. VeVe could seriously clear the on-ramp vertical for non-crypto natives to buy NFTs. I think so too. Just need some marketing. And not everything that they're doing is done yet. Not everything that they're doing is done and ready to go, but it will be soon. What is ready to go is my announcement of for Definity Markets and Bloomsbury Money. Pump 2026. Ginger helps with tooth pain. I love ginger. My girlfriend doesn't like ginger, but you know, I'm gonna message her this. I'm gonna shoot her a message. She's probably a little busy right now, but I'm just gonna text her and be like, ginger is so. I'll just say another reason to like ginger because it's good. 24-hour fast, but I haven't eaten meat for 3 days. I'm gonna go a little light and somewhat empty. Yeah. Oh, you probably not feel. I don't feel like. Well, it depends. If I feel like Mediterraneans can have, you know, you could have like fish, veggies, a bunch of stuff, and you know, a lot of Mediterraneans can really eat what a diet that's not really high in meat and still feel relatively good. I do not like if I don't eat meat, I feel like crap. Durgalaj says, any OMI prediction updates summer 2026? I was just talking to a buddy about this. With Collect Chain and Stacker 2.0 in play, I feel like Collect Chain a thing due to a big IP and requiring something in place for it, just like how VeVe Comic was a priority. Okay. It depends when the narrative. Again, we see NFTs starting to run right now. Mostly that's because ETH is going up. And again, I was talking to a buddy before. People just kind of ran out of money. You know, they went in and they just said, I'm going to go all in on whether it's NFTs, even the good quality. So like I said, Bored Apes, CryptoPunks, you know, it just everything took a giant dump as ETH went down because people lost a lot of money. So people had just buyer's exhaustion. They kept buying, and you know, stuff just kept going down. I was talking to another buddy of mine today, which, by the way, if anyone's looking to, there's a buddy of mine that we might do like options for like, for like OMI, where it's just like, hey, buy this OMI at a certain price right now. Like, let's say a buddy of mine has like 1 billion OMI, right? And then let's say like, okay, if you want to place a bet, like a wager, gets put into an escrow account, and it says, buy this OMI at this price, like whatever it is. You can put it, you know, you put it in at like 001, like whatever you want, and then it says if it goes to, you know, 1 penny before the end of this year, my buddy puts in a large swath of money, saying like he'll give you. The bet will pay out that you get the OMI at 2 cents. So basically, if it's, how much is 1 billion OMI? Wow. So basically, what would happen is, this is insane if he does this. If he's got 1 billion OMI and he says you buy it, let's say at 001, or you get access to the OMI at 001 if you buy it for that price. Like you get that OMI, and if it winds up going to 2 cents, he puts $20 million in that. How rich is this dude? I guess he's really. There's a buddy. I don't know how rich he is, but he would put in a smart contract that if you buy a certain amount or put up a certain amount of OMI, like a bet, like I bet you that OMI goes to 1 penny by the end of 2026. That's insane. My friend just might have a gambling issue. I don't know, but that's what he wants to do. Do I think we can reach 1 penny? Yeah, absolutely. But we need the narrative. And again, because NFTs are slowly starting to run, they're slowly starting to creep up there. They have to do a blow off top. They have a bunch of things that have to happen. I think we're still several months away from it, But I do believe that VeVe and OMI has its day this year. Is it by summer? I don't know. Maybe. It might be. Maybe I would say second half of the year, which can still be July, August, September. That's still in the summer months. Summer ends, I think, on September 21st. So I'd say it's possible. Maybe a coin flip. But is OMI really going to run before Bitcoin and ETH reaches all-time high? And how long does it take them to reach all-time high? How long can they sustain that? How long do the markets keep pumping for? Now, the money markets are definitely going to go burr. But how long does it happen? When does it happen? I still think it's a couple months away, but I mean, I don't know. It pumped. Bitcoin and ETH pumped the last couple of days. What is Bitcoin at the last week? It's up 6%. Not bad. Ethereum, what is it up the past week? 5%. Not bad. Is it these crazy gains that are reminiscent of an alt season? No, but it's still not bad. Echo says close does wonders for toothaches. I do need that. I realized that NFT ran last. Oh no. Oh, okay. They ran a bit last year. Also, Pudgy's like 50K or something. But I think ETH breaks 5K. Yeah. You need to see ETH at all-time highs. But yeah, step in the right direction. Pumpers. Okay. All right. All right. So let's take it before we get to definitive, because it all does have to do with the same thing. Let's take a look at the Midnight token, right? How many people are aware of the Midnight Foundation? Now it was in the top 100. It still is. It's number 98. Even though it's down 14% this week, it still has over $1 billion market cap and is number 98. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because now, what Midnight is Charles Hoskinson's creation. They airdropped everyone those Cardano holders Midnight tokens, and the Midnight Foundation has just selected Bloomsbury Money for their FX cross-border transfers and e-money solutions. I will repeat that. The Midnight Foundation, Mr. Charles Hoskinson himself, has selected Bloomsbury Money for FX cross-border and transfers and e-money solutions. Give me 1 second here. I'm getting a lot of. There's the sexy man. There's the sweet piece of man himself. 38 years young, looking great, brother. Oh, he was born on Guy Fawkes Day. Very good. Very good. Obviously, founder of Cardano. London, January 15th, 2026. The Midnight Foundation has chosen Bloomsbury Money as its exclusive partner for foreign exchange, cross-border payments, and employee debit cards. This long-term alliance connects the privacy-focused world of Midnight's privacy-enhanced blockchain technology to ensure smart compliance with the robust financial infrastructure provided by Bloomsbury. I actually have to go message this to a group chat of mine. I can't see where they are. Dan. Okay, there we go. Pasting. Okay. The Midnight Foundation operates globally and requires a financial partner capable of keeping pace with its innovation. Bloomsbury Money, an electronic money institution or EMI, known for serving complex international sectors, fills this role. Through Bloomsbury's multi-currency accounts and card services, Midnight can now manage its workforce and global vendors without the friction often faced by Web3 organizations. In fact, I'm going to go and post this on X and letting all the Cardano community know that I'm going to go here. We're going to quote, shout out to, actually, what is the Midnight Foundation's X? Let's take a look at that. If anyone can let me know before I have to look it up, that'd be great. If not, no big deal. Day after day, night after night, I've been waiting for love again. Day after day, night after night, I've been. Okay, sorry. Midnight Foundation. Okay. Privacy first. Okay, there we go. To Charles. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh god, news is breaking. Oh god, news is breaking. Yeah, people are buying. Oh god. Midnight. Oh god. It's mid NIGHT FDN. Okay. And the Midnight Foundation for choosing at Definity Markets. Is Bloomsbury? I don't think Bloomsbury Money has an X, right? I guess their sister company. No, there's no way. If I type in Bloomsbury Money, it doesn't come up. Okay, I got it. Bloomsbury Money, founded by those behind at Definity Markets. For choosing Bloomsbury Money, and I could just put this picture for FX. Oh God, I'm so sorry, guys. FX. Cross-border payments. And e-money solutions. $ DEFX. And then we're going to do, what is Midnight's 3-letter? Oh, it's just Night, N-I-G-H-T. Give me 1 second here. Hey, Mike, you're on speaker. How's it going?
Hey, man. I just read that article.
Hell yeah.
What's your take on that?
Oh, I'm currently telling my audience here that it's a fantastic, I mean, they're not doing any type of shareholding agreement, I don't think, but Charles Hoskinson, who founded Cardano, and he airdropped all of the Cardano holders like Night tokens, like Midnight for the Midnight Foundation. And I think the Cardano people are going to be very excited about this. It's going to shine a big light. So as of right now, this is only on their website. It will get picked up by Newswires and CoinDesk at the stroke of midnight, because that's when it turns 15. That's when it turns 15 January in the US. So they should pick it up in like the next 3 or 4 hours. And even already, as I've been talking about it, there was somebody that did a quick buy here. It just shines a big light on Definity, because Bloomsbury Money, which has a like Manu had founded Bloomsbury Money, he founded Definity Markets as well. So somebody just did a nice little $1,000 buy, and I'm pretty sure that's there's 17,000 in volume on the day. Most times there's only a couple thousand volume, so there's a couple of cross trading things happening here. I think you see a lot more volume over the next couple of days because of this, as people figure out what this is.
And when you say volume, you mean you think in Definity?
Oh yeah, yeah. This is just strictly for the token. What they're, I don't know how much this is going to make Bloomsbury Money. They're probably going to be making them a lot, but Definity is the utility token for Bloomsbury Money.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So either way, it's good for them. So that's what.
Okay, and Ernie was telling me that people.
Yes, yes, that is very exciting. So there's a Okay. Long term for 18 months in Definity. Now anything can run at any moment, but if you have consistent revenues and you have some consistent buybacks, I think just that alone helps get the community kind of revved up, because we've had just a couple of them. Now they got really revved up for the Definity burn. There's 800,000 Definity that was burned like last month. So as that now we're not going to be able to burn 800,000 like a month, like every month, unless they're making like stupid money. But just the fact that they can go in and do some type of burn every month. Now, I don't know when that starts. That might start April. It could start. Maybe December was the first start. Maybe they do a smaller version this month. But just something that people can count on every month really gets the community excited. Like for VeVe, they do like 1 to 2 million in OMI burns every day from Stacker. If they and it's something that community kind of rallies around. So I think if Definity does the same thing, where each month they go in and they burn a certain amount, that'll be like, okay, how much this month? And there'll be side bets on it as well. Like I bet you they burn over 100,000 or over 1 million, however much. There's another small buy for 146 there. That's probably what will get people excited more than anything is the buybacks and the burns. Like even though they're crushing it, like their top line revenue is like more than VeVe, right? But people don't really care about that because they're not seeing that affect the price of the token. But when it starts to, then everyone will be like, Joyce Byers in season 1 of Stranger Things. Like they'll be looking at everything. Oh my god, dude, it's so good. Best show, favorite show. All right, you go get that bread. I'll get back to the live. All right, peace. Yeah. Buddy of mine, see, after every call, I have to say meow. Not just because I'm in my cat shirt, but my shoulders. So that's a good buddy of mine, but also someone that has quite a lot. He's got more Definity than I do, and I have a lot. We have burned 995,000 OMI today. That is nice. Did I hit? Oh, I did. Very good. Mazda, it's nice to see Midnight dropping their solutions. Forgot about that in Outcourse, like 6 months ago. Let me add Nike the Pig. I'll add Nike the Pig over here because he got. I can't believe I forgot Nike the Pig. God, I love this game. I love it so much. Okay, where was I? Yeah, I know Coinbase can't support the bill in the current form. I don't care about that. Oh yeah, I got to go in and send this to my Definity group over here. Share via. I'm gonna do Telegram. Send that. Very good. Okay, I love this game. This is very good. Oh, another $500. Very nice. Okay. Back to the article, shall we? Midnight Foundation operates globally and requires a financial partner capable of keeping pace with its innovation. Bloomsbury Money, an EMI known for its serving complex international sectors, fills this role. Through Bloomsbury's multi-currency accounts and card services, Midnight can now manage its workforce and global vendors without the friction often faced by Web3 organizations. Crucially, this partnership is built on a foundation of smart compliance. Bloomsbury Money adheres to the highest levels of compliance and transaction monitoring. This ensures that while Midnight benefits from rapid cross-border payments, every transaction meets strict regulatory standards. Fahmi Syed, president of the Midnight Foundation, noted that finding a partner who understood both their operational needs, the need for rational privacy, and the regulatory landscape was vital to ensure smart compliance. We got over here. Whale? Yeah, big whale. He's got more Definity than I. He's got more OMI than I do. I think he has more. Like this dude's got more crypto than I do in like everything except for DeCat. I got to get him onto the cat. Also, he's watching Stranger Things, so he's a cool guy to hang out with too. Oh yeah, Bleeds Cordova said, "Wow." Oh heck yeah. If Bleeds wants to come on, he could totally come on. We get him on again. Love having him on. I actually got to send this to. I have to send this a bunch of. I'll send it to him later. Yeah, he's a big whale. He doesn't have the shares in the companies that I do, but he's a big whale. Now, granted, my crypto wallet is very, very small, low six figures. His is quite a bit more. Anyway, let's keep going. We have a global team building the future of real-world privacy, said Syed. We need partners who understand our needs and direction. Bloomsbury Money understands our industry. They support us with the speed and reliability we need to pay our people and vendors. And they also understand the power of Midnight and how our network will provide rational privacy to all stablecoin transactions as part of their Midnight integration. For Bloomsbury Money, this partnership validates their mission to provide sophisticated financial rails to innovative industries via key stablecoin and the Midnight network. We built Bloomsbury to help businesses that are pushing boundaries, said Michael Sueck of Bloomsbury Money. Midnight is doing critical work in the data privacy. We're proud to provide the payment infrastructure that lets them focus on their technology with smart compliance, knowing their financial operations and compliant and secure. We have a global team building the future of real-world privacy. We need partners who understand our needs and direction. Bloomsbury Money understands our industry, said Fadi Syed, President and CFO at Midnight. My bae does not like ginger. She is crazy. The collaboration represents a long-term synergy between two firms dedicated to empowering users, one through data sovereignty, the other through financial efficiency. Manu Chowdhury of Bloomsbury Money echoed this sentiment, saying the synergy is evident. Midnight tackles blockchain privacy challenges. We streamline global capital for investors and innovators. Our rigorous monitoring ensures safe scaling. It's an enduring alliance built on empowering business with great asset autonomy. Now, about the Midnight Foundation. Midnight Foundation is dedicated to the development and the adoption of Midnight Network, data privacy preserving blockchain that safeguards sensitive commercial and personal data. About Bloomsbury Money, it's an EMI providing exclusive payment solutions, FX and card services for global businesses and private clients. They specialize in multi-currency accounts and solving complex financial needs for the modern economy. And yeah, the people that founded DMA Link, which has Bloomsbury, which has Definity token, they also founded Bloomsbury Money. And what is the utility token for both DMA Link and Bloomsbury Money? Definity, DEFX. I love this game. Yeah, Midnight Foundation selects Bloomsbury Money for FX, cross-border transfers, and e-money solutions. Da 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 da. What up, Bill Gardner? We're just going over. Midnight Foundation selects Bloomsbury Money. Bill Gardner, Bloomsbury Money for FX, cross-border transfers, and e-money solutions. Maya he, Maya ho. Oh my God, I need a drink because this is a great night. Very good, very good. Okay, so outside of ginger, you said clovers, right? Clove. Oh God, I accidentally almost deleted your comment, Eccles. Did not mean to. Okay. Okay, we're gonna. Oh God. We can eat clove together. I don't even know. What the heck? Yeah, fair point. Fair point. Okay. Closed. Yep, I know Iran has closed airspace. Yeah, this is wild. This is wild AF. Wild AF, boy. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on in the world. Jail for. Oh my God, I would have done the same too. Yeah. You know what? Shout out to Trump for making it so that he signs a bill making animal cruelty a federal felony. That is something I think we can all get behind. And this vet tech goes to jail for hitting a man after witnessing him beating his sick dog in the parking lot. Not gonna lie, when I was in the tech field, when I was in the veterinary field, I might have done the same. Walt tells Minnesotans to film ICE and build a database of atrocities for future prosecution. That is wild. Okay. Lots of interesting discussions today on full self-driving pricing, according to Holmar's catalog. believes crypto saying, I saw her face and wow. And then I took a vow that we'd be together, girl, just you and me. That's the meaning of eternal. That's oh god, what the hell is the name of that dude from the Hey Arnold show? Is his name Ricky Lake? No, that's an actual person. Yeah, I love my girlfriend so freaking much. Dude, she's so cute, man. She's so adorable. Obviously, official announcement might be early. It's on their website. One sec. Copy, paste. It goes live on CoinDesk and other places just after midnight too. Very good. Very good. Okay, where else are we at here? So yeah, I did go over that a little bit with my friend. Let's say what are we at here? We're at $19,000 in volume, only up 1.8% on the day, so not up a ton. But there is a lot of cross trading going on. $2.3 million market cap. This is so. DMA Link is the company that I'm telling you guys do hundreds of thousands a month. Their top line revenue, I think, is more than VeVe's. Well, it's not official. We don't know, but you know, VeVe makes hundreds of thousands a month. So does Definity. So does DMA Link. Now that hasn't translated into a lot of buybacks or burns for the token. That is something that I think will change. So they doubled revenue from 2024 to 2025. They're probably going to double revenue again. So I think you see a much I think at some point this year, I'm almost positive at some point this year, you start seeing $1 million a month in top line revenue for DMA Link. So if that's the case, you just say, what's Midnight Foundation? So if that's the case, I think you see Jesus. So the amount of unhinged things that I see from people are astounding. Okay, so somebody asks about cliff notes for the Midnight Foundation. Midnight is a privacy-focused blockchain network built to bring programmable selective privacy to decentralized apps and real-world use cases. Instead of the typical all-public or all-hidden data model that uses zero-knowledge cryptography, aka ZK proofs, to let developers and users decide what to keep private and when to disclose it, a concept often called rational privacy. Originally launched as a Cardano partner chain, sidechain that works alongside the Cardano blockchain, Midnight aims to enable data confidential applications that meet compliance needs in areas like finance, healthcare, identity, and enterprise workflows. The project is backed by the Midnight Foundation, which stewards development ecosystem and adoption of the network's core privacy tech. Going over it live. It's awesome. And now be advised that this is not the only press release that is out there. Oh, what the heck is that? Strikes midnight. Oh, yes, very good. Oh, it did. Oh, okay, it was. And shout out to Manu for just being an amazing person. Freaking love that man. Okay. Well, it's a live stream so we can jump in. Let me give my man's. I did. Copy link. Paste. I can give you. Shit. I can give you the personal link so you can come and talk if you wish. Believe said, see you on the moon. Heck yeah. Taking the moon up, boys. I love this game. All right, where we at? Kuma saying, what up, fam? Got a couple comics of the Whatnot show tonight. Oh, very good, very good. I heard they had a special guest on. Who's the guest? Who's the guest? Who's the guest? Who's the guest? Tell me who the guest was. I feel like Jennifer Lawrence. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Freaking love her. She's great. Never met her once, but met somebody that worked with her. And they said she was just this chill. Like, so apparently he had to escort her somewhere. And she got seasick. And like literally 15 minutes after they leave like the docking bay, she's like, oh, I think his name was like Jason or something. Justin, I don't know. And he's like, what's up? And she's like, I get seasick. And he's like, do you have like Dramamine or something? She's like, no. I was like, why didn't you tell me before we left? She's like, I don't know. I got nervous. Like she had like anxiety. So like celebrities are just people, bro. They're just so cool. Did I finish talking about NFTs yet? I feel like I didn't. I definitely didn't. I did not. There's other stuff that is going on that I missed. Oh wow, there's actually a lot of other stuff that I missed. RFDZI says, kind of feels like NFTs are about to pop off. Congrats to everyone that didn't leave. Congrats to everyone that has VeVe NFTs. Then you have Bando saying NFTs are so back. Elon, this is definitely fake. There's no way Elon put a PFP as a Pudgy Penguin. There's no way. Oh yeah, even Pudgy Penguin says I made it up. Funny though, funny. You have Jaden Levitt saying NFTs are popping off and we are nowhere near the economy being red hot. This will be a golden period for many who get into the right assets. For many deniers, you'll have to head outside and shake your fist out the sky. And you have Chris Severs saying, excellent, most excellent, fun with Darth Vader and Luke X-Wing, Lucasfilms. Just going over his Darth Vader and his X-Wing. It's really cool. AI. Mudtooth says, Bored Apes aren't a utility play. They're art, pure collectible, no roadmap needed. You might be right, but I would much rather have my VeVe NFTs than I would a Bored Ape. And now certain VeVe NFTs, right? Like I would say Miles Morales, AF-15, the VeVe logo, obviously, you know, Spider-Man, Superman, Todd, Riso, I think all those everyone would agree with. Would you rather have $15,000 worth of Cryptkins? You know, like probably not. Those probably pretty illiquid. I don't see too many people knocking the doors. And again, I have 2 sets of those. I love those. But it's just not everybody's cup of tea, right? It's just something that I like because that's what I like. I like the supernatural. They're cool. But yeah, God, I can't get over I can't believe I'm the one that got to break the freaking news too. I wonder what happens if I search. Oh God, I have so many notifications over here. Shit. Moonbirds. Okay. Possible to stop. I know it's inexorable. This is bananas. God, I have so much that I have to get back to people on, and I won't do it. Let's do Midnight Foundation, Bloomsbury Money. I wonder if I could tag people. Like, who can I tag with this? I can probably tag. Put it on X. Oh, okay. Okay, this is on the 12th. Okay, that's where it was. I didn't even know that was a separate chat. I'm sorry, guys. Final version, X. Well, I guess CoinDesk will pick it up eventually. I don't need to tag anyone with it. Okay, where was I? Sorry. Let's go and let's do OMI. See where they're at. OMI's down 1.5% on the day. I have random hairs everywhere. And they are at $47 million market cap. That's a little low. It's a little low. But and they had a big sell here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours ago. But it got bought back up. I actually had that a couple of times. Then it got bought back up. Oh shit, what is that? Oh, he's actually gonna jump on. All right, hang on. Trimiadua. Okay, we got somebody that's gonna jump on. We'll DM you link. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Okay. Let's see what the volume was for a Comey for the day. It actually says down. Oh, 3% on the week. Sorry, 2% on the day. 7001757. We are at. What are we at here? 1.3 million in volume, down 20% on the day, but still very, very low. And 615,000 of that, or 44%, was on Deepcoin. So it's really less than a million in volume. So not a ton. And again, I'm not really expecting it to go really. I'm not really expecting it to go super large when we're not in the narrative. It looks like we're slowly getting there, but I think it's slowly getting there just because ETH is going up, and that's why you see the rise of NFTs. Oh, okay, we got someone that needs to connect their mic and cam before I can add them to the stream. Once they connect their mic or cam, then I can add them. But as of right now, it says their devices are not connected. So let's see what it says. Nike the Pig says that's awesome, and I'll say, oh heck yeah, it is, brother. Okay, and then we got the Dan in the house. What's going on, Dan?
Mr. Randy Wildman Chavez, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I got it's a good day. It was hard to keep a lid on it, to be honest, but now that the news is out, I'm very, very happy.
Yeah.
Have you read the article?
I haven't. I just skimmed it. I was actually just jumping offline and I seen the tweet dropped in there. And I'm like, man, this looks super bullish. I seen some buys coming in to the Definity chat there. And I was like, yeah, I wanted to hop on and just see what was up and get some details, man. I assume you've been going over some of it.
Yeah, the whole article doesn't really take that long to read. It takes a couple of minutes, but the title pretty much says it. The Net Foundation selects Bloomsbury Money for FX, cross-border transfers, and e-money solutions. Now, it doesn't say if this is an exclusive deal, but it does read that way. Like, it doesn't read like it. If it wasn't exclusive, it might have said Midnight Foundation selects Bloomsbury Money as one of the companies to do this for.
Yeah.
But even the way it reads down below, it does seem like this is an exclusive deal, even though it doesn't outright say it. Either way, are you familiar with the Midnight Foundation?
No, I'm not. That's what I was curious about a little bit. I seen what got said in chat that, it was somewhat of a side chain to Cardano, which sounds bullish. But personally not familiar with it. No.
Yeah. So the Night token, NIGHT, it's like a governance, rewards, and transactions. It just aims to blend just a lot of crypto with traditional finance via the ZK proofs, the zero proof. Now, to be honest, technically speaking, I'm not 100% sure what zero knowledge proofs are, but they're using it for compliant data, and they attract a lot of institutional interest just because the Cardano community is insane. And when it got airdropped, they pumped it up to like $1 billion. It's $1 billion market cap, which is bananas. So I think now that they see, okay, what's Bloomsbury Money? Once they figure out that the Definity token is the utility token for Bloomsbury Money, and also for DMA Link, and they're founded by the same people, they're probably gonna be like, oh, okay, what's with this? And they might just throw. I mean, there's already been buys. I don't know if the buys since this news of broke has been from our community or not. But either way, I'm very happy.
Yeah, this is the type of thing that stair steps you up to the types of market caps that you want to be at. It stair steps you up into the type of players you want to compete with, especially. And I don't know the answer to this question. Maybe you do. Are some of the team, is there crossover in team from Cardano to this other company to Midnight, or is it completely independent of each other?
No, they were. I mean, they support the Cardano blockchain, but it's not. I don't know if there's any people that left Cardano for this, or they were just maybe voluntold, be like, hey,
Yeah.
you've gone as high as you can over here. Let me put you at a higher position at this new chain. It's a sister company of ours. Like I don't know how that happened behind the scenes,
Right.
but it would make sense that it did.
Yeah. No, that's very interesting. And I was curious, why the buys were coming in, and then when that got dropped, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that kind of brings the picture together there.
So there was because I'm part owner of these, like you can't like run up the token like before any news, but of all the trading that you can do, like all the normal buys. So I've never sold. So
Yeah.
I can still keep buying at the normal rate that I was buying at. And I bought really on a lot of dips. So when someone yeeted like $4,500 the other day and it dropped at 20% and we're at like 1.2 cents. Yeah, I bought like an extra $1,000 or like $1,200 or whatever. So like that's really the only thing that I did. Like if I really wanted to, well, I don't think I could have, but if I tried to put in like 30K, like that that might have drawn some eyebrows, but
Yeah, that would have been a giant green candle. So
yeah.
that's interesting you say that, because I was wondering who front ran me in that dip there. I was trying to get another little buy in there, and before I did, I noticed a few buys that came in. So yeah, thanks for pumping the price on me.
I'm sorry. So I had, bro, I don't know if I took a screenshot of this or not. I had oh, I didn't. Okay, damn. I was on the phone with this guy. We'll call him, his name is, call him Peter. I got him a bunch of OMI a couple years ago, and then I got him Definity last year. And now this is a guy that has an insane amount of, like, a decamillionaire, right? Like not like he's
Right.
not like worth billions, but decamillions.
Yeah.
And he put like, I think maybe 40K into OMI and then like 10K into Definity, and then like they're both down, but I just wanted to be like, just throw like 100K in, like right now, and he's just like, you know what, I'll put 5. Okay, put 5. So he puts 5,000, and I'm trying to walk him through and the dude's like 60. He's falling asleep on me as I'm explaining to him certain things, and I was like, Peter. He's like, oh yes. I was like, so he gets into his Coinbase, he connects his bank account, is just like, I don't know, wants me to put this in. Like, you've already done this, just for a different bank account. And he goes in and he connects his new bank account. Everything's good, it's Gucci, we're all good. And then he's just like, I was like, okay, so now he's like, okay, now what do I buy? He's like, well, you're gonna have to, send this to your Definity, or not your Definity, your Coinbase wallet. He's like,
Right.
oh yeah, this is my Coinbase. Like, no, like the Coinbase wallet, it's rebranded as Base. He only does it on his laptop. He couldn't figure it out. So I was trying to get him to buy today as well, because I just happened to have a meeting with him today. And he missed it because he's like, you know what, let's do this another day. I think he just got tired and frustrated of trying to download Base. I don't even know if he remembers his password or not. So we'll see.
So that's something interesting that you're talking about there, is trying to guide newer people into being able to purchase and stuff like that.
Newer, older people.
Yeah, newer, yeah. Well, in fairness, I don't feel like I'm that old, but I remember the first time I heard the words pancake swap, it was a bit puzzling. I'll put it that way. Like, pancakes, like, what does that have to do with crypto? So what my question was is, if you consider just getting them into Uniswap or something like that versus trying to set up a wallet through Coinbase.
I thought that might be too complicated for him. I think he liked the fact that he had the KYC, and he liked the fact, because then it just makes it more comfortable for him to do it. Now he obviously, because he's a little older, he just 60 something. He has the he doesn't like that it's so complicated, and even like today is just like, why would governments, I don't understand crypto. Why would governments buy Bitcoin and say, like, use Bitcoin and not, my own currency? And it's like, well, I mean, that's what you have to do to to keep up with the world. Everyone's doing it, and if you're not going to be the one to do it, you're going to get left behind. And if you're not at the table deciding what to eat, you're what's going to be for dinner. So I think he understood that when I put it in that context, like, okay, everyone's doing it, that means we have to. But yeah, just a lot of people. I was with an older guy for like the holidays, and he's just like, I hear Bitcoin, but it's fake money though, right? I was like, no, like people just don't understand the tech. And it seems to be a lot of people like over the age of 60 that just don't get it. And like, so
Right.
how old are you?
Man, I'm in my upper 40s, so
Okay.
I am. Yeah.
So question, did you like in like 20 years, I don't know when you left your parents' place. Let's say like 25 years ago, like when you're still a teenager. Did you ever watch a TV show like with your parents?
No, and I'm probably a bit unusual because I was actually just having a conversation about this a couple of days ago. The amount of TV that I've watched, the amount of movies I have watched, is just very, 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 very small.
Okay.
It's just nothing I've ever really been into. Gaming, I've never really been into. So I know you're probably thinking about that and going, "Wow, how does he make it?" But no, it's just so I'm at the age where I had electronics growing up to a certain extent, but not nearly the same way that people 10 years behind me did.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't grow up with a cell phone in our hands, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Maybe I didn't get a cell phone until I was 15.
yeah,
But the point I was going to make is that there's a lot of there's a video I saw last week where, I don't know if you've heard of Stranger Things, really big phenomenon. It's like one of the greatest shows out there.
yeah.
And this one girl that has watched all 5 seasons with her parents, and she was going over like different parts of the show where in the 5th season, so they've had like almost a decade of, because a new season comes out like every couple of years, almost a decade of them getting to know these characters, and her parents are still like, yeah, the black one, and it's like, you don't know Lucas's name after 5 years, like, oh yeah, wait, what about the gay one? Like, that is the gay one, Dad, and you can't call him that anymore. Like, you have to call him by his actual name. And I don't know why, but I feel like after a certain age, people just like, can't remember certain things, and it's wild, the things that go on out there, and I feel like we have this really big shift coming in where a lot of boomers kind of pass away and leave their money to millennials, and I don't think millennials are going to be buying like bonds, and like I think they're just going to all buy crypto because that's the thing that they know and grew up with. Maybe they gamble it away on these gambling websites like DraftKings or whatever, but yeah, that's mine.
Gamble their retirement away on prediction markets. But I just seen a couple days ago, speaking of retirement, maybe you've seen this too, and I don't remember the name, but there was someone that was now recommending that people put 4 or 5% of their retirement portfolio into crypto, or it might have been BTC specifically.
This was it Bank of America or Structure? I remember going over it too on here. I can't recall the name of the bank. Oh, he's gone. He left. Everyone wants to comment down below and see what bank it was. We'll try to figure it out, because I'm trying to go over it on here, and we got Dan, but his devices are not. There we go. We lost you for a sec.
I am back. Sorry about that. I'm just on my phone, so I accidentally closed StreamYard and it kicked me off. So that's what happened.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can't find where it was, but I did see the other day. Yeah, I think it was maybe Bank of America or Goldman, like one of those banks that they had said, 5%.
Yeah, it was a household name. I mean, and it's the type of thing you go, well, 5% seems low to me or to you, who predominantly live in this space. Like, we don't hold stocks, or if we do, it's very small.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you think about the incredible amount of money that is out there in 401s or whatever form of investments or retirement type funds that you have out there, if even 1% of that made the crossover, that would do huge things
Yeah,
to our backyard here.
I think so too. And it's one thing, like, so there was a meeting that I wasn't supposed to be a part of, but but it happened. I was just in the room and I didn't say anything. Big bank meeting, and they were talking about how real estate is worth $380 trillion, bonds are 135 trillion, equities are 110, so on and so forth, money markets, gold, private markets. But crypto is only a $3 trillion market, and they all unanimously agreed that crypto was like the most vibrant up and coming market that everyone should be putting in. And this was almost a year ago that they were talking about this as just being the most massive opportunity that they've ever seen in their lifetimes. And these are all like, 40 to 60-year-old bankers that just have seen it all.
Right.
So bigger than the dot-com bubble, and it's just that's what they're focused on. How long do they do that with? I mean, it's such a low market, and a third of that is just Bitcoin, or half of that is Bitcoin and ETH. The odds of something like Definity, because the liquidity is so low in it. Do you buy it on MEXC or do you buy it on Uniswap?
I buy it on Uniswap. I'm a completely DeFi type of guy. Like, I will pick Uniswap over an exchange every time if there's a pool that will sustain a reasonable size. I mean, sometimes you run into situations where DeFi may not be your option, but no, I pick Uniswap.
So their liquidity is pretty low. Like it's split pretty evenly, $43,000 in Definity, $43,000 in Ethereum. But out of a $2.3 million market cap, that's like, 10% would be 230K. So they have like 3-4%, in liquidity, where like my token DeCat, which granted it's a much lower market cap at 1.2 million, but has $348,000 in liquidity. So I think it's harder for people to chuck in 50K into the token when there's less than that in Ethereum liquidity on there. But I think that does change over the next 6 months, and more liquidity will be added. I think that'll give more confidence to investors to invest in.
Well, and the thing too is especially with V3 and V4 liquidity pools now, is they would have the ability, if they could single side put tokens into liquidity, and then as the market cap went up, it would then transfer that back into ETH, which would strengthen your liquidity. So it would be really, really easy for them if they have some tokens available that are not earmarked for something else. Even if they would stick 1 or 2% into liquidity, it would be very easy for them to change that situation around.
Yeah, I think they could do that too. I don't know at what rate, because you probably understand it better than I do. Like, could you just put in liquidity of your token, or you would have to do it like if you did 50,000 in Definity, you'd have to do 50,000 in Ethereum too?
No, so not using a V3 or V4 pool on a traditional V2 style pool,
Okay.
you would need to do that. With the newer liquidities, you can stack your liquidity in a certain range that would be, so if you put your tokens in, like in a nutshell, if you put your tokens into liquidity above the current price range, you can put only tokens in, and then as your price goes up into that range, now suddenly those tokens start converting between token to ETH to increase the liquidity pool.
Okay.
And it's a really, really good way to increase your liquidity pool without necessarily needing to come up with a couple $100,000 out of pocket or whatever,
Okay.
to make it more attractive. So it's a really good way to do that, and it would be, I'm sure it's probably something they have in mind when they move forward. But yeah, it would be very simple to change that scenario.
That would be very good. Yeah. I think if we get enough, so I talked to Tom Anderson about this from DEVVE, and if we get enough volume, because like as much as I can get, as much volume as there is for like certain meme coins, the dev exchange will just not. They just won't list certain meme coins because, you know, some of them are rugs, whatever. But for Definity, obviously, it's a much different thing because it's backed by so much business and backed by a bunch of banks. We'd be able to get Definity onto the dev exchange when it rolls out. We just need to get the volume up. We don't even need it to have like millions of volume, but just even like 6 figures in volume, which I think could come pretty easily. We can get it on there.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like as volume starts coming in organically, people will see that and they'll want to have that on their exchange or in their pool or whatever. So like there will be people that will be buying token strictly to use for liquidity pools just because of the fees that they then earn off the liquidity pool. So it makes a lot of sense. So but it does take some growth, it does take some volume, and when that starts happening, yeah, I think some of that stuff will just start happening on its own. You know, if MEXC was seeing that type of volume right now, they wouldn't be fussing about you don't have, you know, 20 wallets shy or whatever their current situation is, you know.
You know, it doesn't even show on like CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap that we even have MEXC. So I don't even know how important they are.
Yeah, well, so the biggest thing to me is that right now they're not important at all, but the kicker is the market cap goes up and volume picks up, it will be important to have an exchange that people can go to, probably for some of the same reasons that you said that the gentleman you were helping today, he wanted to go through an exchange versus, you know, the DeFi route, just because of the setting up an account, and it just feels a little more structured and maybe a little more Web 2 like. So there's some familiarity there and he's more comfortable. So at that point, yeah, I think it's going to be important that there is an exchange. But the problem is right now, you're just kind of beating a dead horse till you get to that point. But the problem is if you let it slip away, then you have to go through the process of getting it back listed. So that turns into a process too. So like, I understand why they would want to keep it there. But yeah, I don't know that an exchange itself does much at the moment. But
yeah, especially because everything's like nothing's pumping yet. I think when it starts to pump, that's when you get people putting money into it. Almost nothing. Like when it's like when you have money, you could find a guy that, let's say, you know, and you wouldn't normally listen to, but 1 out of every 200 ideas he has is good, and he could just say something and you'd be like, you know what, you throw like a couple grand in there. Like you wouldn't do that in this market because you know, like money's tight, nothing's been pumping. But
yeah,
suddenly when our net worth goes to like $8 million, yeah, put like 8K in there, you know, see what it does.
Right. Yeah, that's just a whole different scenario. Yeah, and that's the thing now is like, you know, people are hitting me up all the time and like, hey, like I have this token that's bottomed out at 5 mil, or this token is bottomed out at 20 mil. And I look at it and I go, yeah, that's probably a great time to throw, well, like you said, $1,000 in, $8,000 in. But at some point you can't throw $8,000 in everything. You have to, you know, make the decision. Okay, I have these 20 tokens. I have these 30 tokens that I've already invested in. You know, I need to DCA into these. I need to wait. You know, that whole scenario. I'm sure you're in the same situation. Most of us are. So yeah, but if we start getting 2 or 3 of those pumping, yeah, all of a sudden at a mil, you know, an extra mil in the wallet, now it's easy to throw a couple of $1,000s around. And when that happens, you'll see some of these lower cap tokens, even the ones that aren't really, you know, any good, which, and I'm not saying Definity, like Definity got tremendous amounts of value and potential, but even the ones that aren't any good, like they'll have tremendous pumps just because now you got a bunch of rich people that got a couple $1,000s to throw around, and you get 100 of those people, and now all of a sudden you can create a massive pump for no reason.
I think when you have these different high net worth individuals that need Bloomsbury money accounts because that's the only way they can easily onboard and offboard money into crypto. And let's say it's like $100 million and the fee, I think in Europe is like 1%. Like to put on $100 million, you need to pay $1 million. That's so much. But if Bloomsbury money makes it so where, yeah, just give us 50K worth of tokens and then you get to save or give us buy $50,000 worth of tokens, then we are able to go in and cut those fees from $1 million to 500,000. Those rich people would do that all day, pay 50K to save $500,000. they would do that no problem. I think the concern with that would be what happens when they go to eventually another major bank in somewhere else in Europe, in the EU. Well, what happens to those tokens then? Do they have to eventually sell? Does Manu buy them back? Like what goes on there?
So I believe he spoke to that, not to cut you off, but he did speak to that. He mentioned that in this situation where if they were purchasing the 50K, the end user would not be the one purchasing the 50K. Like it would be controlled by, like they would send their money over, or their fee would come out, Manu, or I'm sure he's not personally handling all transactions, but whoever
it might be Chris
would be, yeah, exactly. They would actually be making the purchase. They would be having those tokens in custody, in whatever form that is. So you wouldn't just have this volatile, oh, well, I bought 50K in tokens today, I'll sell them tomorrow at 100K. Like, no, that's not even going to be a possibility. From their standpoint, it's a fee. It's not something that they're necessarily doing to trade. Now they hopefully see the benefit of trading as well, but like specifically those fees, like he did speak to that. Like that's not going to be something that's just in and out. No, that's going to be custodied through whatever arm of the company.
Yeah, they definitely custody it, but when they leave, I'm just wondering if what they do with the Definity after they go to like another bank, wherever. Maybe they get burned. Who knows? Maybe they just get put in the kitty, and that just makes the company more valuable. Either way is fine with me.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know specifically on that part of it, but even if it was something that they could then control, like, okay, so I have the 50K worth of tokens that this person is exiting our program, but we have 2 new companies coming in, you could then just transfer, over to one of those, for example. So even though it's just much smoother with them controlling versus random people buying, selling, dumping, whatever.
Agreed. If DMA Link gets bought out this year, which it should this year, but let's say by middle of this year, if Definity's still down here, I'll chuck like another 30K into it, because I'll get a nice payout from that. But that's if Definity's still down here. If it's up to like 10 cents, and we do like a 5x, maybe I'll put a little bit more in. But at that point, we'd have already done a 5x, and it's like, okay, well, not that we still couldn't do another like 20x after that, but
right. But that 20x, it's a 20x, not a 100x. Like that's a big difference.
It's true. What would you say you're most excited about right now? Is it DEVVE? Is it Definity? Is it something else that you have? Let us know what you're thinking.
Man, that's a tough one, because like there's a lot of things that I'm really excited about, and you named a couple of them. Just in no particular order. Obviously, we're talking about Definity. I think for obvious reasons, I'm very excited about Definity. I'm very excited about DEVVE. That's another good one. I'm also hold a decent bag of FIAS, which is I guess you could call it sister token to DEVVE, or maybe kind of like the Cardano and Midnight situation there. They're in parallel paths. I'm not sure what the word would be there, but I have a good bag of that. I've seen that Tom has been really expanding his focus back into DEVVE now that he's got, back into FIAS now that he's got DEVVE to a point where they can move forward without him in a day-to-day capacity. So I'm excited about that. I think it has really good potential. That's another really, I think its market cap somewhere in the same area that Definity's at. So like the potential for X's is really good. I like that one. Obviously got to shout out to OMI. I got a good bag of that too, obviously.
Yeah, I love OMI.
Yeah. So those are some really good ones that I'm in. Man, and to start going down the line past that, I'll throw out one more here that I like, and that's Illuvium, which is a gaming token, we know gaming tokens are not doing great at the moment. So market cap's down. So good time to buy. If you're one of the, I know there's several different ways to buy. Some people like for the market to be uptrending and then buy. I tend to more buy when the market's down.
Yeah.
So I've been topping off in Illuvium a little bit. And the reason I've been topping off there is I've listened to a couple of the interviews from the founders, and I don't feel like it's a company that's struggling for cash necessarily. I mean, obviously, they're like everyone else. The last 4 or 5 years has been brutal. But at the same time, you know, they're not, I didn't get the sense that the founders were looking for an exit and trying to strip the last few cents out of it before they left. You know, they're trying to build, they're trying, and I feel like they have the ability to build and the ability to raise money. So that's another really good one that I've been, I've threw, not a lot, but I mean, sometimes you throw 1,000 here, 1,000 there, and you just got to pick up some of these on the bottom.
Yeah, they have a really good community. They were at over $1,800 a token back in 2021. They're at $6 right now, but they still have 7.5 million in trading volume today. And like any day over the last couple of months, 5 million, 7 million, 10 million, 17 million. So they still have a lot of volume. There's still a lot of people going in and trading the token.
Yeah, and that's probably some wash trading from market making on DEXs probably, but I don't know that that's an actual true volume, but it does show you there's a level of interest there. And just another one that popped into mind too. Have you ever heard of this token called DCAT?
You mean my baby?
Yeah.
Of course.
I was on, congratulations, by the way. I just looked the other day and I seen you were like, what, 2, 3, 4x off the bottom. So it seems like you guys got a little momentum going on.
Yeah, we're
back over there again.
3x off the bottom. We were like 8x off the bottom at one point.
Oh, okay, good.
Because we have like we're paired with ETH. So our, again, out of the $1.2 million market cap that we are, 348,000 of it. So 174,000 in DECAT, 173,000 in Ethereum. So when ETH goes up, so does DECAT. But it does like a kind of a multiple of it, because obviously there's buys on top of that. And so I think this is the only token, one of the only tokens out there where it's more than 25% of the market is in liquidity, and it's locked for like 997 years. So
I mean, is the dev just not serious? He couldn't go for 1,000? I mean, what's going on here?
we got a, what did we get? I initially raised some money at 150K market cap, and then or 150K valuation, I should say, because the DECAT Chronicles IP is different from the token. All the revenues that I get from what the comic's going to be on VeVe, and we're going to have a physical comic as well. To print the physical comic is going to be several $1,000s, and how I'm going to do that is I'm going to raise some more money, this time at a $300,000 valuation, and like half of that's going to go to the comic. The other half will keep just as working capital. And the deal isn't inked yet, but I did get verbal confirmation from Dan Williams, who is the CEO at FigPin, that we would go on, and we would have a DECAT FigPin as well that should match the. Now it is contingent on it doing well on VeVe first, which it will very easily. Once we get that, we'll be able to get a digital collectible on there, and then FigPin will do the physical, and we'll have that with them. So that'll be cool.
Man, very nice. Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. I know you had mentioned it, maybe a month or so ago at this point, and so it sounds like you're really making some good progress there.
We have a lot of good progress. So we also have there's the company that I can't say who we're raising money with, but the company that we're the characters will be in a new game as well. I could tell you offline. We'll talk offline at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
It'll be really fun. You'll be excited on what, because you know the entity or company that's doing it.
Right. Good deal.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Hint, hint. Psych, psych.
Yeah, we got Mr. MC1. He's got a bunch of Definity as well. Says it's super interesting and a good team. Nice. The cat to the moon. Yeah, the cat in the game will be multiple characters from the cat will be in there. Do you have a bag? You know what? When it comes out, all I'm going to ask you to do is just buy a couple of the comics that are on the when it comes out on VeVe.
Yeah,
Do you
for
have other
sure.
stuff on VeVe, or do you just have OMI?
Just OMI. If you remember back to what I was saying about not really watching television or any types of shows or movies or anything. Yeah, I've never really developed a good understanding of what a good collectible would be from a digital aspect or physical as far as that goes. So I've bought a couple of things here and there over the years, but I just don't feel like I have a good enough understanding to know when I should really go in on something and when I shouldn't. So I try to stay in my lane and stick more to tokens and things of that nature.
That is fair. That's fair. Good reason to get the OMI token. I've keep dollar cost averaging and everything is going down.
Well,
after the Clarity Act and stuff, when do you think we start turning around here? Does Jerome Powell need to get out, or is that kind of irrelevant at this point?
man, that's super interesting. So on the Clarity Act, I just seen that Coinbase released a statement that they couldn't support the Clarity Act as it was written. So I'm curious about that. I'm curious about. I haven't had a chance to really dig into it because I believe they did release it. Was it yesterday or was it today? It was released. I'm not sure. Either way, yeah, I'm afraid maybe some of the bigger banks have got to them, which is to be expected. So I'm curious how that will shake out. And I was actually thinking about that. So what's the fallout of that if the Clarity Act doesn't provide the type of clarity that we want to see? What if it is somewhat restrictive, and what if it does still favor big banks and things of that nature? And I don't know the answer to that, I guess, without really knowing some of the details. But as far as Jerome Powell is that's a super interesting situation too. I'm really curious why they're putting as much pressure on him as they are, based on the fact that he only has a few months left. So it seems like, really, is it going to change anything one way or the other than possibly it's more of a statement about what to expect after he leaves office? that might factor in there. And the other thing too is like, if you actually look at the markets, is like, how much more rate cuts can it really support? Because in reality, the rate cut should have come over the last year, and then we're a year too late. So now now the tail is chasing or the horse is chasing its tail, or whatever the situation is there. So it's just kind of I'm just very curious about some of this stuff, and I don't know that I have a lot of good answers. I do think that good things are coming overall, just I don't know what form or what the actual thing will be that breaks it loose or creates the catalyst to move forward, but something will.
Yeah. The Senate draft of the Clarity Act would grant the Treasury increased financial surveillance powers, including authority to temporarily freeze transactions without court orders, according to Galaxy Digital. I think that might be why they couldn't support it for that reason.
That would
I think they would want
one.
Yeah. But again, who knows what they saw in there? I mean, I don't know how long it would be. I hope it's not one of those things where it's one thing and they're trying to add so many different things in it. Like, the one thing I hate about there's multiple things I hate about Washington, but if there's a bill, they have like 80 different things in there, and it's supposed to be just on one thing, but then there's stuff with farming, then there's stuff with taxes, and there's stuff with so who knows what else they're trying to sneak in there as well.
Yeah, and oil, gold, personal projects, like I'm sure it's clustered from one end to the other, but hopefully they can work through that. And even if it's not maybe what we want to see, just the fact that there is clarity, just the fact that there is a guardrails, that you can operate between, is going to in and of itself create more innovation, even though maybe it's not exactly what we would like. But we'll see, I guess.
Yeah. There's tens of trillions of dollars in money market accounts ready to rip into the market. I think Trump wants these money printers to go burr, like before the election. So I think he's going to do whatever he needs to do to get this economy pumping. And maybe it starts in May, and then it goes May, June, July, August, September. You know, you have a good half a year before elections if you start in May.
Right.
You know, does he want to start it right now? Maybe. I mean, it would, if you start too soon, then maybe it kind of loses some of its luster. You lose the tailwinds, and maybe we start going down in September,
Right.
October. Or maybe there's enough there where we can take it just straight through elections. Who knows?
So let me ask you this question. Where would you be at in the year before you would go, I'm a little concerned that crypto hasn't really moved the way it should have at this point? Because when I say that, like, we've already seen, you know, stock markets are breaking all-time highs, metals are breaking all-time highs.
Yeah.
Stock markets around the world really are breaking all-time highs. So at what point would you go, man, crypto hasn't moved yet? Like, this is concerning, not necessarily from the standpoint of crypto's over. No, I don't. I think we can agree that it's here to stay and it will grow exponentially over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. But like, where would you be at this year where you would go, man, this year may not be the year that we get this type of run up that we've been hoping for the last 5 years?
I'd probably go in and say I was going to be concerned last year at the end of 2020. Like, if you were to ask me a year ago, you know, hey, what would you be concerned at? Like, I would be concerned if we didn't have an alt season by the second half, like the end of the year in 2025. But
Right.
then it's like, okay, the tariff war just absolutely destroyed crypto. Like, that was awful for us. And it's like, okay, maybe that delayed it. And then you have a bunch of people looking back and essentially rewriting history, and they're thinking like, okay, the reason for the 4-year cycle, everyone initially thought, is because Bitcoin halving, and it just halves the amount of rewards that you get, and it forces, like, either the miners stop mining, or they go in and they mine at a deficit, and you know, that's kind of the beauty of it. But then after people took another look, it's like, well, actually, it really doesn't matter about the halving, just matters about liquidity. The halving just happened to always mirror that, but on this time it's not, and it's just the liquidity that we were supposed to get last year, which kind of got destroyed because of the tariff war. You know, got locked up. So if there's a valid reason for it not to run, like, I mean, for some reason, if you look at Russia and Ukraine, instability there troubles markets. Instability in the South China Sea with Taiwan and China, that troubles markets. They tend to not like instability. But when Trump goes out and takes Maduro, that takes instability out of that country and kind of puts it in. And same thing what's going on with Iran right now. Now, it's not good for Iran. Their currency collapsed, and they're right now I think they're getting bombed. Like, I have a buddy of mine that is in Qatar, and he had a bunch of troop movements to get a bunch of troops out of there. They just closed down their airspace like an hour ago, so they're like ready to start doing some bombing.
Yeah.
But if there's like a big, I'll say like World War III, but if there's a global shift, like, you know, war season, and that's the reason why crypto doesn't run, it's like, okay, there's a reason for that. But if people are rotating their money out of the stock market and out of gold, and it's not going to crypto and it's going to something else, then I'd be like, okay, what's this something else? Is this something that's replacing crypto? Are people starting taking crazy pills? So I guess it would depend on the reason. I would be a little concerned if so as ETH goes up, so do like NFTs. You've seen it like with Milady Makers and CryptoPunks, Bored Yacht Club, and all that. If Bitcoin and ETH were to go up, and you still get, let's say, like XRP and Dogecoin and Solana and all that, but it doesn't trickle into alts, then I'd like to see where that money is going. And if it's just, you know, manipulation, if it's just the whole thing is a racket and there's just so much corruption in there, I don't know. I'd be very curious though to see the reasons why. I would say by middle of the year, if not end of the year, if there's no alt season by the end of the year, yeah, I have no idea. Like, what are we going to have, 6 years of bear market for alts in a row?
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a strange wrinkle that we haven't really seen over the last I guess, fairly clearly defined cycles in crypto.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting time.
Yeah.
But
What,
I
what
could I could
about
go on
you?
about that for hours.
Same question. At what point would it worry you that like, oh, but this might not be good. We might be stuck in crypto here for a very long time before it starts to pump. Like what month is that for you, or what time of year?
Well, in a lot of ways, so I like what you said about you thought last year that you'd be concerned going into the end of this, 25. And in a lot of ways, I was, especially when we seen, BTC went to a new all-time high of what was it, 126, which was almost double its previous all-time high. Kind of on par for the 4-year cycle that we would tend to expect. And then, you know, ETH did not like break its all-time high. It topped out. Well, I mean, it was close, but it was still substantially under the previous all-time high. BNB, BNB did a little more than double its all-time high. So there were some signs there that there was a run in progress, but it never really trickled down to the meme coins. So I was definitely getting concerned for a while. And I mean, I still wouldn't say that I'm not concerned, but I still do see a path for it to happen. And I think that's the important thing. It just, when you start getting, kind of maybe a year past where you thought it would happen, and like you see that some of these avenues for it to really run are shutting down, it does start getting a little perplexing. But with the way things are coming together, and especially, and you touched on some of the things, midterms and things of that nature, plus Trump just being a businessman who wants to blow the top off the markets. Yeah, I think there's a really good pathway for a tremendous amount of money to flow back into crypto. But I think, yeah, like you said, though, I do think if we start getting into the second half of the year and we haven't really seen it trickle down, it might indicate the market's changed more than we thought. Maybe it's some things like there's a lot of money coming in, but it's coming in through ETFs. It's coming in through, oh, what all is an ETF now? BTC, ETH, BNB, Solana. I think I seen a link the other day, XRP, Sol, like, and all these things. So the people that are now coming into crypto through ETFs don't have the same type of trickle down pathway that people did 4 years ago, or I mean 5 years ago, or 9 years ago. Like they're not in the DeFi space. They don't have 100 ETH sitting in their wallet.
Yeah.
It's an ETF, so maybe there's more of a disconnect there than what we realize, or maybe that would be the conclusion. I'm not saying we're there, but I'm just saying that these are the types of things that I would start wondering about, or maybe looking into a little bit more, if we're in the second half of this year and things aren't progressing. So
Agreed. Brian Armstrong did post the issues that he was worried about are including a de facto ban on tokenized equities, DeFi prohibitions, giving the government unlimited access to your financial records and removing your right to privacy, erosion of the CFTC's authority, stifling innovation and making it subservient to the SEC. Definitely don't like that either. And draft amendments that would kill rewards on stablecoins, allowing banks to basically ban their competition. He does say that he is still quite optimistic that we will get to the right outcome with continued effort. We will keep showing up and trying to work with everyone there. But basically, they'd rather have no bill than this bill, because this bill makes everything potentially worse.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
It would allow your TradFi to maintain its grasp as it transitions into a new type of money.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what goes on. There is, oh man, there's more. I mean, as much as I'll say the stuff in Minnesota is not really affecting markets, so I'm not gonna say I don't care about it, because I still do care. But there's yeah, I wish there was more. What do you've never seen The Dark Knight. I wonder, I was gonna make an awesome reference.
Yeah.
I wonder what
Go ahead.
Okay,
Someone
so
else might get it.
okay, so there's a part in Dark Knight where Harvey Dent goes to Commissioner Gordon, and he says, if we can all arrest all these guys as part of one racketeering scheme, Yeah, sure. The top guys make bail, but the middle guys can't. They cut some deals, which include jail time. What do you
Hmm.
think you could do with 6 months of clean streets? Meaning, like, get a bunch of criminals off the streets. I
Right.
wonder what would happen to the market if you just had 6 months of no tribalized stuff, like something super right or super left, and it's just there's none of that for 6 months. I wonder what that does to markets. I wonder what that does to people's mental health if there wasn't anything crazy going on just for 6 months. Um, if it was just, I mean, I don't know. Anytime, not that I don't have TV, I don't really watch the news, but anytime I go on X or whatever or Facebook, like people are always fighting and talking about something, and I just I long for the days when I was like a teenager and it was just like, okay, people were complaining about Twilight or people were complaining about like Lord of the Rings stuff or whatever. Like that was, I don't know. I feel like life was so much simpler when people were fighting over stuff that didn't really matter, you know?
Right. Yeah. Well, and you could make the, well, I wouldn't say that it doesn't matter, but yeah, and some of it, when you break it down to what people fight over, it doesn't really matter. It's just a matter of they have to find themselves on one side of a clearly defined line for no reason other than they think they need to. So
No.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's an interesting question. I mean, there's no doubt that would help. I don't know. It's hard to see any type of path to making that happen, but um,
It was just a thought
yeah,
exercise. What if one day?
yeah. What if?
Yeah. Oh,
So
the
how
Senate
much? How
banking.
much?
Hmm?
Sorry, go ahead. No, just to follow up on that, how much freedom would you give up to have that happen?
Oh, like financial freedom or like
Uh, just,
tanks rolling down the
just
streets?
yeah. I mean, I didn't really think it through, but like, so my thought was this is kind of the problem when you look at those types of situation. Well, we can give you this, but then you're going to give up X. You know,
Yeah.
you're now
I
going
mean,
to wear a mask and not go in stores and stand 10 feet apart so no one interact or whatever. You know,
yeah.
I'm just not to
Any
get into
type
that
of
wormhole.
loss of freedoms, I go back to that, was it Ben Franklin quote, or Thomas Jefferson, where people that give up safety, or give up their freedoms for safety and security deserve neither. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's life. You have to be willing to take risks. Um, I don't think I would ever advocate for a loss of any freedom. Like I don't like,
No.
even there's some things that I would like if, let's say, the governor or anyone were to do something that was maybe not good or not fair to bad people. Like, yeah, why wouldn't you want that done to this person? This person killed people, or this person is
Yeah.
perpetrator of, like some bad stuff. And it's like, well, if the government can do that to that person, that line can erode very quickly of who's a bad person. And maybe that goes to, okay, well, maybe this administration doesn't like this group of people, or it doesn't like, and it comes down on people. And like you might be a little young for so, but in the, I guess, 80s, there was like this backlash on kids that would play like Dungeons and Dragons because
Right.
there was like demonic stuff in there, and the church was
Mm.
against it. Like, oh yeah, it's demon rituals, and the kids like, no, it's a game, and it's fun. I just feel like people have agendas, and agendas change, and sometimes the agendas are good. But then, new people get in, and that agenda gets slowly eroded, and it goes to something very bad. So I'd probably not advocate for any loss of freedoms, even if it meant
Yeah.
6 months of clean streets and awesome stuff.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. Sorry to cut you off there. I just thought it
No,
was
you're good.
interesting to think about there with the
It is.
concept.
But Cointelegraph reports Senate Banking Committee cancels tomorrow's scheduled markup for crypto market structure legislation following Coinbase's withdrawal of support per Eleanor Terra. So I think that's good that they're taking Coinbase so seriously, saying, "Hey, we can't support this," and then Senate Banking comes in and say, like, "Hey, we can't we don't want to go through with it if Coinbase isn't happy."
Yeah.
So I'm happy about that. Good stuff. And that is okay. That's it for the comments. We got what do we do in selling some of this DEFINITY. Let's say it does let's say it goes to 10 cents here in the next, and this just, it could go to zero at any moment, right? But let's say it goes to 10 cents in the next couple weeks, does this 5x. Do you take any profits at that time? Or is it just like, no, I'm not in here for 5x. I'm in here for like this 20, 50x, and I'm not selling below, 30 or 40 cents.
That can be tough because part of the thing is when you do have tokens that are pumping, you do need to have the ability to rebalance into some other things that you have that may not be. So I don't know that at a 5x, like, that's not exciting to me really. But yeah, there is a point there somewhere that, maybe say a 10x, would I take out 10% and move over into just DEVVE, for example, if DEVVE's still at 15 mil? Yeah, I mean, I think at some point that would make sense, but I don't think, just a 2 or 3x, 5x, that's not super attractive.
Yeah.
But at some point, yeah, you do have to consider it. I'm not one of these people that just say, hold and never sell, because if you don't sell, if you don't redistribute, like, you'll end up being a community member. And I'm not saying that it's a great community, and I'll probably, as long as DEFINITY has some type of is profitable and is being used in their system, like, I can see it appreciating over a number of years, more than just a pump and dump type situation, of course, because it's actually, it's a legitimate company with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of revenue. So yeah, it would be stupid to get out, but at the same time, yes, I do have to at some point consider, where do I start redistributing some of this. So I'm gonna say right now, maybe like a 10x, maybe I would take a little bit to move over. Now, if DEVVE and OMI and Illuvium and some of these other things we talked about moved at the same time, at that point, no, it's probably not that attractive.
Yeah, agreed. That's pretty much would have been my answer as well. Keep it, if everything else moves. And that, I do feel like, whether it's whoever controls this universe has a sense of humor and be like, oh, they think they can get 1000x by putting a 10x into a 10x into a 10x. But and they're just gonna make it so that it all pumps at once. And it's like, shit,
Yeah, I hate predictions as far as, I think it'll do 1000x, I think it'll do 100x. Yeah, you might, but you're either going to get super lucky and just randomly buy something at launch that goes stupid, or you catch one of the maybe random 1 or 2 tokens a year that does major X's. I remember, was it in 24? Man, what token was it that went from, oh man, I'm pulling a blank. They pivoted into AI, and I can't remember now what it even was. They were almost dead. They were down. Man, I am pulling such a blank on this. It doesn't really matter for the for the point of the story, but this token, it went down to like 7 mil, and I had DCA'd into it, and then they pivoted into AI, and they got listed on Binance, and it went over, it went over $1 billion, like maybe 1.5 billion, but it started at 7 mil. So, do the math. It's good X's, but it's no 1000x. Like, I don't think people understand how hard 1000x is to get, and how you would have to just absolutely buy the various deepest bottom and then literally be the last sell at the very peak. It's like, it's just not realistic. Even 100x is tough.
Yeah. I think from down here, DEFINITY, OMI, and DEVVE, they could all do 100x. I'd like to say DACAT, but DACAT to get to $120 million market cap is bananas. In a bull market, who knows? Maybe we get some meme season, and maybe people like what I'm doing, and it can go crazy. But that's a lot. But for DEVVE, DEFINITY, and OMI, I'd say all of them could do 100x's. I think, and again, I'm fairly well diversified in all three, but I would have probably a lot more. If I would have saved my money from 2021 and held it until here, yeah.
don't give me PTSD on this. Like, yeah, it's been a rough year. What can I say?
It do be a rough year though, 100%. Oh, nice. Russia lawmakers finalized a crypto deal where they can trade. Pretty sweet. We've got we've got some sell things. And again, if it's still down here when if they were to sell some DMA link or if something else happens, I'll go and get a bunch. Let's make an appointment to talk. What time zone are you in?
Eastern.
Okay. Same. Let's do a little time tomorrow so I could just tell you about certain things. Because I still got a whole rest of the show to do, but I want to talk to you about what I was hinting at before.
Yep, sorry about that. I was actually just thinking, I'm not even sure what you're actually doing at the moment. You said I'll send you a link, and we jumped on and have been talking ever since. And I wasn't even sure where you were at or what your schedule was. If Friday works better for you, that would work better for me. But shoot me a DM and we can sort it out.
Yeah, Friday. Oh shit. Can we do?
Or later tomorrow afternoon would work fine too.
Okay. Shit. I can't tomorrow. Can we do 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday?
Yeah, that should work.
Okay.
Sounds good, man. And yeah, best of luck on the rest of your whatever you're doing here. Like I said, I'm not even sure. You sent me the links, I jumped on, and here we are.
Oh yeah, this is just the normal show that I do every night at 8. So we got about 200 people here. So it's a pretty nice show we got.
Oh man. Well, yeah. Shout out to everyone. Hope you guys are having a great evening, and I will be hopping off, and best of luck for the rest of it.
All right. Appreciate you. I'll catch you later.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. I have to be out by sorry everyone. I got some other text messages here that I have been ignoring, which is fine. I will go over, I haven't done DEVVE yet. And then I don't think I've done DECAT yet. And then we'll go over the news 2 hours later here. Yeah. Okay, let me do, oh God, there's so many. All right, let's do DEVVE real quick. Then we'll do DECAT, and then we'll get to the rest. All right, so DEVVE is up 1.5% to 16.3 cents. $14 million market cap. On Uniswap was $133,000 in volume. But what about the rest? We're actually down to below 15.5 for DEVVE today. $500,000 in volume, so it's actually up 55%, which is fine. But yeah, we're at a $14 million market cap. That is very, very low for DEVVE. At some point, I think this does a nice 10x. Even before the announcement could actually take it much, much higher. This is something that I think can go to well over $100. So it actually 100x is $16. Like that, it sounds crazy, but it's probably what I think can happen. But obviously that's going to be in a blow off top. That might even happen this year. That blow off top might happen, next year. But I do think that we get some very, very nice gains here over the next. I mean, it could happen over the next couple months. I'd say early April we get that announcement, but we'll see. We'll see. After that, we'll do, like I said, DECAT over here. $1.2 million market cap. There is very light $625 in volume today. But again, what I like to see is just continued interest in everything. Hold on, let me take a look at who this is. Oh, I feel like we have the same guys selling over and over, which is fine. It's fine. Okay, now we've got to go on and talk about the news here that we've got to do a bunch of. All right, we've got Colombia's tax authority mandates crypto exchange to submit user data. Dubai bans privacy tokens and tightens stablecoin rules in the crypto reset. Digital asset funds saw $454 million in weekly outflows. 4-day, 1.3 billion streak nearly wiped out early year of 1.5 billion inflows, mainly due to lower March Fed cut expectations. I guess we'll get that in March. Standard Chartered said to prepare crypto expansion with prime brokerage. Crypto custody startup BitGo aims to raise about $201 million in a US IPO. And MicroStrategy has acquired 13,627 Bitcoin for $1.25 billion at $91,519 per Bitcoin. JP Morgan now expects Fed rate hike in 2027 and no more rate cuts. JP Morgan's insane. Standard Chartered to launch a prime brokerage for Bitcoin and crypto trading. Read that before. Tom Lee's Bitmine buys 24,266 Ethereum worth $75 million. Tokenized public market RWA value grew from 5.6 billion to 16.7 billion in 2025, marking the strongest expansion the sector has seen since its inception. Tokenized U.S. Treasuries remain the largest RWA category, with tokenized value rising from 3.9 billion to 9.2 billion in 2025. Damn! The standout instrument was BlackRock's BITL, issued via Securitize, which reached 2.3 billion in assets under management. Damn. Bitmine now holds over $13 billion worth of ETH. That is nuts. Look at this Blastoise teaching the Squirtle the birds and the bees talk. That's adorable. Everything the light touches is yours, Simba. Average U.S. gas prices fall to $2.79, the lowest level in 5 years. Bill to ban members of Congress from trading stocks expected to advance this week. Let's get that bread. Never ask Nancy Pelosi how she's so good at trading. Mattel launches the first Barbie with autism. That is insane. Sorry. Treasury Secretary Bissent warns President Trump the criminal investigation into Fed Chair Jerome Powell made a mess and could hurt financial markets, Axios reports. Trump warns the U.S. could have to pay back hundreds of billions of dollars if the Supreme Court rules his tariffs are illegal. It'd be a complete mess and almost impossible for a country to pay. And they did not pay it, or they did not rule on it today. Jim Cramer says Jerome Powell has been a fantastic Fed chairman. That is not the endorsement you want, guy. Not the endorsement you want. Ooh. So a buddy of mine told me about this Runner's High Brewing Company. It's a non-alcoholic beer, and it's dark chocolate, and that sounds amazing. Find members that they used autistic license with Barbie. Wait, what? They used autistic license? Is that a pun? Am I not getting that? Am I tripping here? BlackRock CIO Rick Reeder calls the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates to 3%. Yes, Bay. Senator Elizabeth Warren sends letter to SEC claiming people will lose big if crypto is added to 401k retirement plans. How is she even a person? That is a retarded statement. President Trump to interview BlackRock CIO Rick Reeder for Federal Reserve chair. Do it. When an autistic person feels comfortable around you, they will turn into a cat. I will not be elaborating. Maybe that's why I say meow. S&P 500 closes above 69.75 for the first time in history. Have a comment nice down below for the 69. That was on the 12th. Trump posted that effective immediately, any country doing business with the Islamic Republic of Iran will pay a tariff of 25% on any and all business being done with the United States of America. This order is final and conclusive. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Get him, Trump. Get him. Senators move to shield crypto developers as lawmakers race toward advancing sweeping digital asset bill. Daughter Barbie, or is that blackballed still? Artistic license puns don't land. Yes. Puns are hard over text. I even put it on my Snapchat. I was like, no heckin' way. Yeah, that's bananas. There was a VeVe collectible giveaway. I think it's done now. You had to bookmark their whatnot show, screenshot your bookmark show, and drop the screenshot in the replies. Yeah, it's done now. Top 4 secondary market brands selling on VeVe: Marvel Mighties, Nounish Friends, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Star Wars Troopers Collection. Surprised Nounish Friends were on there. That's bananas. SEC Chair Paul Atkins says a top priority is bringing crypto markets out of the regulatory gray zone. Agreed. David might be going to India soon. That would be great. That'd be great. Teenager dies of overdose after using ChatGPT as his drug buddy. Sam Nelson, 19, would ask AI chatbot about drug combinations and what doses were safe to use. At first, ChatGPT told the psychology student that it could not provide guidance on drug use. However, it eventually began telling him things like, let's go full trippy mode, and suggesting playlists for him to trip out on. That's wild. Former New York City Mayor Eric Adams launches a meme coin that hits $580 million market cap before crashing 80% in a matter of minutes. Talk about a rug pull. Somalians gunned down an American college student in Minnesota. Insane. Happy belated birthday to Andrew Yang. There's us at his 50th birthday party. U.S. Senate unveils crypto market structure draft bill, and it was poop, apparently. I've got Ken Golden that might be coming on the podcast. Taffy Jones has just binge watched Golden Co. King of Collectibles after they acquired Studio Auctions. My armchair CEO brain thought maybe David Yu should go on the show and help give eyes to VeVe. Full trippy mode, my ChatGPT tells me to go full degen mode. Maybe we can have a class action lawsuit. Who knows? Pavel D says, Tom Anderson, thank you for all the effort in the past days. You overdone it. Only after countless messages from you and even one personal question, I get what is going on. Most people will not put that much effort to understand or are lacking specific knowledge to even comprehend, but now I don't feel worried about the project anymore. By the way, the most money I ever made in crypto trade was from a project where the price was beaten to death, but the project seemed actually good and real, so I doubled down on focus, taken off. It did 200x in 4 days, but it was a much smaller and much more high-risk project. I only see parallel here, not financial advice. Possible. Eric Adam made $3.5 million from the scam meme coin that he pulled. I had breakfast with him a couple years ago, and he is not a person of sincerity. He's not a person of honor. Would not, would never do business with him. David McIntosh says, crypto is the future. Congress has a responsibility to get it right when they mark up the Clarity Act on the 15th. All right, let's go over this. David McIntosh. Going to be David M. McIntosh. Okay. Oh, I'm going to have to scroll like days for this, aren't I? Maybe not that many days. So this is old, about 2 days old, but I have to read it. Crypto allows underprivileged and unbanked Americans to fully participate in the American dream. Clarity isn't about picking winners. It's about whether the U.S. will set clear rules for a huge part of the economy and reclaim its financial leadership. This was co-written by ChatGPT, can already say it. Congress cannot bow to big banks and cut the reward structures built into the Genius Act. Rewards expand choice and competition. Walking that decision back would reduce options for consumers and benefit foreign issuers and U.S. state-backed digital currencies. U.S. stablecoins should be able to compete on features consumers value, including rewards. Markets need clear standards, not after-the-fact punishment. Definitely ChatGPT. Today, digital asset markets operate under uncertainty created by regulation by enforcement. That approach fails consumers, stifles innovation, and undermines confidence rule of law. Leaders across the political spectrum increasingly agree on the basics: clear definitions, predictable oversight, strong consumer protections, and room for innovation to grow responsibly. Those principles are pro-market and pro-consumer. Blockchain and digital assets are already delivering real benefits: faster, lower-cost payments, more competition in financial services, new tools for savings, remittances, and capital formation. Policy should reflect reality, not fear it. A durable market structure framework must draw up bright jurisdictional lines so innovators know who regulates what, and regulators know the limits of their authority. Clarity in regulation protects consumers and prevents bureaucratic overreach. As Senators Tim Scott and Senator Loomis have emphasized, America's strength has always come from innovation under the rule of law, not bureaucratic discretion. That principle should help guide this markup. Preach, girl, preach. Slay queen. Fidelity and Grayscale have bought $180 million worth of Bitcoin. I repeat, Fidelity and Grayscale have bought $180 million worth of Bitcoin as of 2 a.m. on 13 January. Andromeda says AI feels different when it remembers you. The app world gives companions memory, personality, and continuity across experiences. Wild. What do we got here? Tokenized public market RWA value. Oh no, I read that. Senators, yeah, okay. Senate unveils updated market structure bill by limiting stablecoin rewards or idle holdings. Crypto exchange volumes hit record highs in 2025 with combined SEX and DEX trading reaching 18 trillion in spot and 61 trillion in futures. Oh my God. That is bananas. ETF flows. Bitcoin, ETH, SOL, and XRP spot ETF saw net inflows on January 12th. Bitcoin's 116 million, ETH was 5 million, SOL was 10 million, and XRP was 15 million. Trump says, just get out. Great low inflation numbers for the US. That means that Jerome Too Late Powell should cut interest rates meaningfully. If he doesn't, he will just continue to be too late. Also out. Great growth numbers. Thank you, Mr. Tariff President Donald J. Trump. Keeps capitalizing words that I feel like don't need to be capitalized, but whatever. Iranian patriots, keep protesting, take over your institutions, save the names of the killers and abusers. They will pay a big price. I've canceled all meetings with Iranian officials until the senseless killing of protesters stops. Help is on its way. Make Iran great again. President Donald J. Trump posting on Truth Social. Crypto data platform CoinGecko weighs sale for around $500 million. Jesus. Bank of Thailand monitors USDT gray money trades. DEVVE community says sentiment is low because price is visible. Progress is quiet because infrastructure always is. That disconnect is uncomfortable, but it's not new. Every major market system we rely on today was built in phases no one paid attention to at the time. Clearing custody, netting settlement finality, none of it launched with fanfare. It launched with slow, unglamorous engineering. What's being built here isn't a feature, it's a missing layer. When markets talk about tokenization, they're still circling the same question they've had for decades. Where does risk actually end? I think that was written by ChatGPT as well. US core CPI has dropped to its lowest level since March of 2021. The Fed's claim of rising inflation is absolutely wrong. Powell should cut more rates right now, according to Ash Crypto Real. Trump says Fed Chair Jerome Powell is either incompetent or crooked. He's not done a very good job. Agreed. Agreed, sir. Agreed. Trump says 73% chance the Supreme Court rules President Trump's tariffs are illegal, but they didn't rate it at all. So clearly, Polymarket is not always right. They didn't rule at all. The last 6 bounties of comics and crypto for VeVe collectibles were turned down. It means people really like some of these special mints. President Trump says he will get oil prices down even further. Ford CEO says 5,000 jobs are open. Mechanics say there is little wonder why. The $160,000 mechanic job that Ford can't fill. Ford cannot. Yeah, a lot of people. A lot of companies looking to hire people because maybe ICE took their workers out, or maybe something different, and maybe the economy is starting to boom again. President Trump says if you're anti-tariff, you're pro-Chinese. Doesn't only a Sith deal in absolutes? Trump says the economic boom has officially begun. Elon Musk Starlink activates free internet in Iran. Congrats. Trump says when the market goes up, the Fed should lower rates. They are killing every rally. Agreed. Trump just said that jerk Jerome Powell will be gone soon. Senator Lummis calls for Congress to pass crypto market structure legislation, saying the digital asset industry can't wait any longer for regulatory clarity. Let's get this done. Agreed, sir. I'm not even going over that. Ken Golden told me to send him an email. So I did. Let's see what happens. Trump announces that he is suspending all federal funding to any state that has sanctuary policies protecting criminal illegal aliens. Good. $410 million worth of crypto shorts were liquidated yesterday between 4:30 and 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, we got Definity Markets posting up yesterday. Yeah. We're pleased to share that an early look at the progress being made by Bloomsbury Money, an independent neobank founded by the same team behind Definity Markets. Bloomsbury Money is preparing to introduce a new offshore UI, a purpose-built interface designed to simplify the operational and regulatory complexities of cross-border finance for fintech and HNWIs. Founder Michael Sawek shared the following perspective. I've always believed that offshore banking shouldn't feel like it's stuck in the past. That's why the team and I are thrilled to preview the new Bloomsbury Money offshore UI. We're moving beyond simple transactions to provide a full-stack financial operating systems for fintechs and HNWIs. From seamless currency exchange and digital asset support to card insurance, cross-border payments, and expense management. Everything is designed for a borderless economy. Can't wait to get this into your hands. Coming soon to Bloomsbury Money platform, seamless FX and cross-border payments, integrated digital asset management, card issuance with real-time expense. Definity Markets is proud to provide the infrastructure that supports Bloomsbury Money. And their next phase of growth as it builds a modern, globally connected offshore banking experience. More updates to follow. And obviously, having the Midnight Foundation use them as their, oh God, incredible. Have you checked the Stacker OMI Burn giveaway for this week? I have not. Are you on it? Are you in it? You getting that, bread? Germany's second largest bank, DZ Bank, just approved for Bitcoin and crypto trading. Nice. Very nice. Not much. My wife. Bank of Thailand monitors USDT gray money trades. ETF data shows Bitcoin dominance held firm in 2025 as Ethereum gradually gained share. It's cool. That's cool. China's trade surplus hits record 1.2 trillion in 2025 despite trade war with the US. BlackRock and other ETFs have bought $753 million worth of Bitcoin, the largest ever in the last 3 months. Me and my friend back in 2015. Oh, we look so good. We look so young. Pakistan will partner with World Liberty Financial on a dollar-indexed stablecoin. Elon Musk says Tesla full self-driving will switch to a monthly subscription and remove the one-time purchase option. And Grayscale and other ETFs have bought $129.7 million worth of Ethereum. ETH is stupidly undervalued right now, according to Ash Crypto Real. Hey, Definity Market says, congrats to Bloomsbury Money on being selected as Midnight Networks, the Midnight Foundation, as I said before, partner for FX, cross-border transfers, and e-money solutions. Strong validation of Bloomsbury's multi-currency infrastructure, smart compliance capabilities, and commitment to building compliant digital finance. Strong endorsement from Fahmi Syed, who is president of the Midnight Foundation on Bloomsbury Money's selection as their partner for FX, cross-border transfers, and e-money operations. Quote, we have global team building the future real-world privacy. We need the partners who understand our needs and direction. Bloomsbury Money understands our industry. They support us with the speed and reliability we need to pay our people and vendors, and they understand the power of Midnight and how our network will provide rational privacy to all stablecoin transactions as part of their Midnight integration. Manu Chattery, CEO of Bloomsbury Money and Definity Markets, echoed the sentiment, highlighting the strength of the partnership, saying, quote, synergy is evident. Midnight tackles blockchain privacy challenges. We streamline global capacity for innovators. Our rigorous monitoring ensures safe scaling, and its enduring alliance built on empowering business with greater asset autonomy. End quote. Love it. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. Get knocked down. Okay, I'm sorry. Everyone, that's going to be it for me today. So everyone, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. And everyone say, I love this game. Come get this bread. On this day, I see clearly everything has come to life.